Hi everybody. So we will be working from a distance and using the blog for an indefinite amount of time. And if you have questions for me, make sure you reach out to me through my email address, which is bwalker@ffsd.mb.ca. So I will be posting on the blog regularly, and you will see the night school pieces posted up. A reminder that you can either download the assignments and print them, then scan them and return them to me. If you can't do that, you can always create a Google Doc or a Word document and put your answers on there, but make sure you are referring to page numbers so that I know what you are answering. Otherwise, I have to send it back to you to try and piece it together. So tonight what you'll see uploaded onto blog, actually later this morning, will be the beginning of Unit 5, which is called Community Voices. So this is uploaded as a separate piece, so you'll see that. You can go to the link. If the link does not work and you have to request permission, I check my email regularly, so if it comes to me, I will give you permission to actually have access to it. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. So anyways, the marking template is on there separately. And then the first assignment is 5.1. So in a flash, her life changed. And so what you're going to do is, with this assignment to start with, you can see, is you're going to look for an online news article. It could be the newspaper, but choose something that's a legitimate news source. So CBC, .ca or Global News or CTV, one of those things. And then what you can see in here is you're looking at it and it's giving you some information about, it's asking you some questions about it, and you'll know that what you're going to look for in your article are the who, what, where, when, and why, and then you're going to answer the questions that are beneath that. When you read the article that's in a flash, your life changed, and then you have on page 44, and it asks you to return to the 5 W's and H chart on page 40. It says to share with a partner. You can if you wish, but I don't do anything with that. And then that's in the reading assessing strategies. In part B, where it says critical thinking, making personal connections, it's asking you some questions. So how do you feel about sharks and why you feel this way? The second question says, have you ever been attacked by a wild animal? And I'm hoping that most of us have not been attacked by a shark, but we live in northern Manitoba, so we have all been attacked by mosquitoes or sandflies. So you can use that as an example and describe what happened. It doesn't have to be this huge dramatic event, but we all know how we feel when those wild animals attack us. So you can even use that. And then there's a couple other questions there. At the bottom, you can see there's a part that says extending. Again, don't do that, so just cross that off yours. And then on the next page, which is page 45, the instructions are pretty clear there. Again, at the bottom, number 7, where it says with a partner and the extending part, you can cross those off because you're not doing that. And then the page 46, you've got pictures there that are, I've got a couple of pictures so you can see them. One is of hockey players and the other one is this one, okay, which looks like cars parked on the street. So what you're doing with that is you're going to do what you think would be a good headline, 2 headlines. So what might be one headline, what might be a second headline for each of those pictures. So that front page has, that page has 4 answers on it. And then on the back side of that page, what I've written on there, and it should be on your copy actually because I scanned this exact copy, is you're looking at each of the photos. I know they're black and white, so that's unfortunate. And you're going to look at the first photo and say, what's my eye drawn to first there? And why does my eye drawn there? And then the same thing for the second photo. And then you're going to answer what's happening in each one of those photos. Then you're going to write a newspaper article for one of the photos on page 46, and it said the article should be at least 100 words. So 100 words is pretty short. I would probably benchmark at about 200, which is just under page double spaced. Okay, so the instructions are there, and then at the bottom there's Number 7, which it says to use a computer to design your article to look like a newspaper column. If you want to do that, you can, but you don't have to do that. It can just be written as in the form of a newspaper article. And then the portfolio checklist as well, you're not going to do. The second booklet that you're getting tonight is 5.2, and I've just dropped it on the floor, so just hang on a second. And this one is called Barney. So a couple things on page 58. Again, there's sometimes a little pieces of information on the top left. There's some information on dramatic irony. And so you need to know what dramatic irony is. And it is something which the audience, or the reader in this case, which is you know about, but the character does not know about. Okay, and then on page 59, remember how I always say in the land of English language arts, we never want to know just an answer, but we always want to know why you think that way. So that first question actually says, give reasons to support your opinion. And then number 2, that answer actually, there are some clues within the story to help you answer that. At the bottom, there's some language conventions, editing, proofreading. You don't need to do that, so you can just cross that off. On page 60, I have a box in the top right-hand corner, some information. It's about point of view. So 3 different things about point of view. We have first-person point of view, third-person point of view, and omniscient point of view. So first-person point of view is if I am telling the story and it is through my eyes. So that would say, I saw the man going to the store and I knew that he was not going to be able to get into the store. I can't get into their thoughts unless the character shares their thoughts to me or speaks to me. So I'm only telling it through my point of view. So me telling a story, and I use first person, so I am actually in the story. The third person point of view is if I am telling if the author is telling the story, they may or may not be able to be in the characters, one of the characters' thought stream and what they're thinking and feeling. And so they're using more pronouns that are, for example, she went to the store, he walked down and saw this, but those are the pronouns that are using. If you're omniscient, which is a good point of view, I think, it's like the roof is off the entire. If we were telling a story in this school, the roof is off all of the rooms, and I'm the author looking down into all of the rooms, and I can open up and say, oh, this is what's going on right now, and simultaneously I can see what's going on elsewhere in the entire school. Having said that, I also know how some or most of the characters are thinking and feeling and what they're planning to do. So I am telling it in sort of in third person point of view because I'm saying using she and he and they, but I am inside their brains and I can tell, I know what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're doing. So I know what the plan is for all of the characters as they are thinking it. So that's the omniscient. It means the omniscient actually means all-knowing. And then you have part D, which has a little bit of on a little section on understanding idioms. You only need to circle the examples of idioms in the story. I think it's 3 examples, and then the number 2 there you don't need to do. And you have number 3, which is the writer's craft, which is talking a little bit about elevated diction. You're going to underline 4 more examples of elevated diction throughout the story. So elevated diction is more proper language or higher level language. Sometimes there are words that you don't understand. You might, but I mean, I might, you might, I just don't know. And then number 2 of under E, writer's craft, you don't need to do. So those are the instructions for tonight. And I'm just trying to think if there's any other reminders I have for you. I don't think I do, but remember, again, if you need me to ask, if you have some questions for me, make sure that you're emailing me, bwalker@ffsd.mb.ca. I miss seeing you guys at night, but it is what it is, and we want people to stay healthy. So just a reminder to keep your social distance, physically keep distance from people, and wash your hands often. And I will post again tomorrow for tomorrow night's assignment. Bye for now.